So my name is Sean McCluskie, and I'm a physical therapist. I practice in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, and we work with outpatient orthopedic patients. I've been in the field for 11 years now. I went to Springfield College in Springfield, Massachusetts, spent 6.5 years there, got a doctorate of physical therapy, and I've spent my career trying to get other people their lives back through trying to heal them with their physical impairments. So to me, healing is somebody getting their life back. I think healing takes a certain amount of positivity. And a lot of times when people walk through our doors, they don't have the feeling of positivity because they're in pain. Their recreational activities are affected. Their functional activities are affected. Some people lose their independence, can't drive. So to me, healing really means getting back to where they were prior to walking through our doors. And the biggest thing that we use in the clinic is positivity. There's a real mind over matter part of healing. And in my experience over the last 11 years, people that come in with an open mind, that are willing to be compliant, that can see the light at the end of the tunnel, typically do better than someone that is a little bit more of the martyr. And it's our job to give people the tools that they need to fix themselves, guide them along the path. But there's not a day that goes by that we don't shower our patients with positivity, because a lot of times that may be the only positivity that they have in their days because they're hard on themselves. And so to me, healing is guiding the light along the path, giving someone the tools that they need to fix themselves, and making sure that we stay upbeat and positive with them throughout the process. About 7 years ago, a buddy of mine had said to me, it was October of, let's see, my niece just turned 6. It was October of 2016. My buddy had said to me, hey, do you want to do unified basketball? So the idea is that there's 3 athletes on the court, 3 Special Olympians, and then 2 partners. So I said, sure. So I showed up, and I met the group. I would say kids, but some of them were actually young adults too. And I had a blast the first night. And this first season was 6 weeks long and culminates with a tournament at the end of the year. And the following May, my brother's firstborn was born with Down syndrome, unbeknownst to us. And it was kind of an eerie foreshadowing in that previous unified season, the favorite player I had on the team was a little girl with Down syndrome who didn't want to come out of the games, wanted to stay in and make jump shots. And she was high functioning. She was sweet. She was kind. She was happy. And when my niece Noella was born, I said to myself, all right, we've got some experience in this. And so the Special Olympics had fallen into my lap even prior to my niece being born. And we've participated every year since. Obviously, the COVID years did a little number on some of the seasons for us, but we were back the last 2 years, and yeah, it's something that we take pride in. It takes maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours out of your week on Thursday nights in the fall, and to see the joy in the kids' faces when they make a hoop and getting to interact with each other. They look at you like you're a hero or something, and really a lot of the time we're doing the opposite. And yeah, it's something that I've at times felt guilty about because you leave feeling so gratified and fulfilled, and you almost feel like you shouldn't. But yeah, the Special Olympics is something near and dear to our hearts. Like I said, even before my niece was born, it's something that we'll do forever. And I think the other thing I've taken out of it is, especially when like Noella was born, my niece, people didn't know how to react. And you got everything from, oh my God, that's horrible, to, well, congratulations on a beautiful baby girl, and et cetera, et cetera. And when I see people out, whether they have Down syndrome or cerebral palsy or whatever, I think back maybe 8-9 years ago, you'd have almost a feeling of sympathy or empathy or feeling bad for someone. But after spending time with lots of atypical kids over the last few years, they have their own happiness and they have their own bliss. And a lot of times we look around and say, I'd like to spend a day in Kyle's world, or spend a day in Noella's world, where some of those worries disappear. So I think there's something to be said about, what makes everyone really, truly happy. And I don't think it starts and ends with a disability. I think back to even being in college, I think it's about giving back, and maybe giving back to less fortunate too. Being in college at Springfield, every year we had a Humanics and Action Day. And so there was a day in the fall semester that the school dedicated. There was no classes. And you signed up and you did something in the community to help with humanity. And whether it was like helping rebuild a house, it was cleaning a park. You had to do something, to contribute to humanity. And, it's community service. But I never thought of it as a day that I could sleep till 10 o'clock and skip Humanics and Action Day. So stuff like that to me was important. I don't know. I feel like it was a kind of a civic duty too after living in the city and understanding some of the struggles that people had. It was an impoverished neighborhood. And I think even spending 4 or 5 hours once a semester like that was important contribution. My vision of a world flourishing with humanity involves more patience, more understanding, more accepting of people's viewpoints without having to um, consider them not a friend anymore. And again, I think that's more along like political lines than anything, but I would never disassociate myself with somebody purely based on their political affiliation. And I think part of that is we are who we are, and you can have your opinions and you can respect other people's opinions. I think that's part of humanity too, right? Is letting everybody live in their own bubble and then finding the good in each person too. And you don't have to label somebody if you don't like liberals or you don't like conservatives that they're terrible people because you don't see eye to eye on some of their political views. So I think patience and understanding and acceptance more than anything. I mean, I was raised in a household where you said please and thank you, where you held the door for someone. Uh, you know, I think back to like even times in my life where um, you don't think twice about like helping the little old lady cross the road, right? Or stuff like that. When we're at restaurants, I still stack my dishes up to hand them to the waiter or the waitress. I think the line that I try to live by, and it's not always easy, is you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So when things don't go your way, there's a certain way to go about it. And, we've had issues in the last couple months with flights being delayed or something, right? And every time I've gone to the desk to have a conversation, I always try to be nice, polite, because I know it's not the person at the desk that's delaying the flight or canceling the flight and don't kill the messenger type thing. But yeah, just every day trying to like to the best of my ability when it's possible, understand what someone else is going through in their shoes, especially at their job. I think something I've always said is whether it's I'm getting pulled over by a police officer or I'm at UPS trying to mail a package, I don't want someone walking through my doors and busting my chops at work. So I try to do the same thing. When I'm at someone else's job, whether it's a restaurant or it's at the golf course or, you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, it's like everyone's got a job to do. So just try to let everyone do their thing and understand. I would want my legacy to be, and I feel like I hear this at work as it is, and I hope it stays like this, is we have more people that come in and say, I like coming here. And for someone to be in pain, pay a copay, take time out of their day, to have people walk in and have to go through, whether it's post-op recovery or whatever, to enjoy their time there and feel like they're being listened to, and feel like they're getting top-notch care. That would be, the ultimate legacy. And like I said, we already hear some of that at work, which is fulfilling to me too. When someone comes in and they say, we like coming here, that means a lot to us because we know it's inconvenient in a lot of ways. But if you can make someone stay for 40 minutes, enjoyable, and feel like they're being listened to, we have a lot of older folks that come in. Not everybody has someone that they live with. And, if someone comes in and tells you that they're going to watch their grandkids take prom pictures on a Thursday and they come in the following Tuesday and you say, hey, how were the prom pictures? They kind of look at you and the light bulb goes off like, oh, you listen. And it's like, yeah, we listen. We're here. We're here to help you heal physically, but like there's a real psychological aspect to it too. And so we try to stay in tune with that. So to me, legacy would be a fun place to walk into, top-notch care, and, feel like people are getting to their endpoint safely.
The flourishing of humanity, now and for generations to come. I'm Melanie Trent, and I've been in this inquiry as one of the people planning today's events of what is it that has humanity flourish? And where is it found? I've discovered that it's found in our work. I'm a retired respiratory therapist. No stretch of the imagination of how that might contribute in healthcare to the flourishing of humanity. But I've also seen that even when I was working at the recycling center, taking people's garbage, or working at a cafe, waiting on people, that it's in the interactions, the day-to-day interactions with everyone that we come in contact with, that the flourishing of humanity occurs. So yes, it's in our work and how we interact with everyone that we come into contact with. And I also see that where it was really alive in all of those situations with my work was in interacting with people as other humans, rather than a number. Interacting with people and listening for what's important to them. The flourishing of humanity really is in our every interaction with all of those around us. I find that it's in the listening of others and what's important to them. Something that's really important to me is that people are known and heard and accepted as who they are. My wish for every one of us is that we are free to express from our hearts, that whatever creative expression we have in the world, that we're free to contribute that. I mean, in my view, when we're acting from the heart and the commitments that we have, it's a very different world that we live in. When we listen to others as we would listen to ourselves, regardless of their opinions or our differences, it matters. I feel like every interaction matters. Being with others with mutual respect for the differences that we have, and recognizing what a different world we would have if we were all the same. So it's allowing others to be who they are. It's recognizing that for the most part, we're really all people that love our children and families, and we care about many of the same things. Compassion and understanding and allowing for those differences. The flourishing of humanity is alive and available in any moment when we're following our commitments in the world, when we're expressing our passions, when we're listening to the laughter of children, and allowing for all of the places where we're imperfect, recognizing that all of the things that we may judge another for, we're kind of complicit of the same. None of us are perfect. Yeah. It's that recognition, that allowing for the space of others that has us flourish. It's the recognition that we're all the same, that we have something worthwhile to contribute here. And for future generations, it really is in the choices and the decisions we make now, and who will be that's going to determine the world that we'll have for our grandchildren as they're growing up, and great-grandchildren. I have 5 great-grandchildren myself, and I want them to have an amazing life and to be happy and healthy. I try to listen to others with an ear for what's important to them. What are they committed to over there? Where can I connect? What can I forward and allow for? The flourishing of humanity is also alive in where we engage in our world. You know, find what you're committed to and do something to make a difference there. For myself, I am involved with the Foundation for Climate Restoration, and that is a commitment and a vision that gives me direction in life, that has me be alive at work on contributing something that I feel will make a difference in the world. And it's the same for all of us, whatever that might be. Find that passion and contribute there to make a difference. In my mind, I'm pretty clear that the flourishing of humanity isn't going to be possible, in particular for generations to come, if we don't address the issues of climate change, if we don't address so many of the issues that we face as humans. We have a lot of difficult tasks ahead of us and a lot of challenges, but I say humanity is up to the challenge as long as we're willing and able to work together to create a more beautiful world where we can all thrive.
My name is Andy Bayon. I live in Golden, Colorado, and I absolutely love the mountains. What I do for work is I help people discover their gift and then stand for their greatness as they go share it with the world. There's several ways I do that. One is through career coaching. I believe that if it's on our heart and our thoughts to go find meaningful and fulfilling work in the world, and we keep showing up with that intention, we will find it. We will create it. And I also guide transformational self-discovery programs in nature. I love adventure, especially a really good hike. I think that probably for me, life's most rewarding adventure is to look within and discover who we really are and what we're capable of. And then take those awarenesses that come to us through that self-reflection and then go live it, go create it, go share it with the world. I believe that the seeds for humanity flourishing can be planted in our day-to-day actions. For me personally, that begins with my attitude. We're social creatures, so the impact that we have on one another, be that the person or people that we're closest to or someone that we just meet on the street, we have an incredible opportunity to lift those people up. And I know for myself, there's many days that I'm distracted or preoccupied But when I remember my commitment and my belief that I think the greatest gift we can give one another is our presence, then something becomes possible. And I think the way in which we listen one another, my capacity to listen to someone, whether or not I agree with them or not, directly determines the nature and what comes out of that interaction and the enjoyment in that interaction. Because when we can, especially in this day and age, hear someone out and approach someone even with a different background or belief with a sense of respect, then again, something becomes possible. And I think for humanity to flourish, we have to be willing to see one another, even if we don't agree. And I think that can be created in our attitude every day, in how we show up and how we listen. Because when we listen from a respectful place with an open curiosity, then there's room for collaboration. There's room for communities to come together around the world to stand for something, to improve and lift up one another. My primary stand in the world is to heal and restore the human relationship with Earth. And one of the ways that I strive to live into that in my small corner of Colorado, or wherever someone is that I have a conversation with, is to encourage a personal connection with nature. As a result of a number of experiences in the world, in nature, exploring places that have moved me, I understand that my experience in nature is not something that's unique to me. And when I realized that it's not like my gift, I realized that we are so inextricably connected with nature that any thought that we are somehow separate is an illusion. And I created the nature effect as a way to codify the human experience in nature. And I've been able to bring that into, for example, my coaching practice, but most importantly, just this encouragement of everyone I talk to go explore that personal connection. Because I think that walking on the land, exploring the natural world with a sense of wonder and reverence is a sacred endeavor. And it's a gift to ourselves, but it's also honoring life. It's saying, wow, what an extraordinary place where we live, and what a gift to share it with so many incredible beings. And I think that personal experience of connecting deeply with nature is truly fulfilling.